Were the messages you were getting back in February?
Yeah, it was very negative, and so it was. Canadians are very kind at the same time, but it's like, we love you, Buffalo, but we'll see you in 4 years after the Trump administration is over with.
Border crossings here never fully recovered since COVID hit. A sustained drop especially felt now, even at this children's museum.
The traffic's not there. It is really tough and difficult to kind of see just kind of where the relationship is right now.
The city's banking on Canadians returning someday, whether for a boat tour or just a visit. Thomas Dagg, CBC News, Buffalo, New York.
Point Roberts, Washington is a small town with a unique relationship with Canada. Around 90% of their economy relies on Canadians. And our next guest says that this year, 4th of July celebrations take on a whole new meaning. Brian Calder is a Canadian and American dual citizen and a former Vancouver City Councillor, and he now lives in Point Roberts. He joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your perspective on this, Brian.
Well, Chris, half of our people here in Point Roberts are dual citizens, and 70% of all the property in Point Roberts is owned by Canadians. So we have a huge, huge connection emotionally, economically with Canadians from Point Roberts and in Point Roberts. So yes, we're very, very dependent on Delta joining the city. And they're very supportive of us. We get water and power from Canada, British Columbia, and pay for it, of course, happy to do that. We have no other source. So without Canada's support, we don't exist.
And Brian, this is why I'm so curious about your perspective, because I don't know that many Americans and Canadians have ever felt torn between the two countries, and then especially on a month like July, which is a big month both for Canadians and Americans. Canada Day on July 1st, Independence Day obviously today, July 4th. Have you noticed a difference in celebrations this week?
We celebrate both here because of our great interaction both with families. And then imagine half of us are dual here, half our families in British Columbia or other parts of Canada. So yes, and we did, exceptional times require exceptional people and action and leadership. And the Point Roberts community rallied very, very strongly with the Chamber of Commerce. And they put on a parade. It lasted an hour. It was terrific. My estimate is about 2,500 Canadians came in here to celebrate that on July 4th with us here in Point Roberts, and we're about 1,000. So we got 2.5 times our population visiting today. We had the Strings and Things bands. We've had all kinds of activity, kids' playgrounds. Nice to see the kids back again, because we were suffering since COVID. We went through that era, and we never recovered more than 70% of what we had prior to 2020 with COVID. And then the fight with, Trump started unnecessarily in a stupid move, no winners, and threatens Canada's sovereignty. They're going to retaliate. Of course they're going to retaliate. Who wouldn't? And why did you start it? So anyhow, it caused that emotional break between and fear between us, or is trying to, and we're rallying against that. We've got bumper stickers here saying Point Roberts supports Canada. We're being very proactive about our emotional connection and, of course, our financial one with Canada.
I mean, I hear the passion in your voice, but I bet it's also very exhausting. Do you feel the tensions on a daily basis?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, we all do. We all do. Yeah. Even if you're a Republican, you feel the tension in Point Roberts for sure. Yeah.
And so, what are you hoping for in the years to come? Do you think this is something that will blow over? Will it change or damage the relationship between the communities across that border?
Well, I heard your previous interview from back east, and we've experienced the same thing. We've had people come into our restaurant and say, we love you, we really love you, we're going to keep our place here, we're going to Airbnb it, but we're not going to personally see you for another 4 years until there's a regime change. But it's not against you guys, we still love you, and so forth. So we're trying to overcome that, and we're claiming, and I claim, Point Roberts is unique in North America, but that's for another story. But we are. I mean, we depend on 90% of our economy on a foreign, quote unquote, country. 70% of the properties here owned by foreigners. I don't consider Canadians foreigners, but that's technically that's the facts. And so that makes us, as I mentioned before, very dependent on Canada. And what I've asked the Premier for in February 1st is an exemption from retaliatory tariffs against Point Robert, because we're only 1,000 people, we won't affect you economically, and 70% of your Canadians, BCers, own Point Roberts. So we're almost penalizing, quote, your own people. And we're working on that. The mayor of Delta, Mayor George Harvey, has been very supportive. The Delta MLA from British Columbia, Ian Paton, very supportive, brought it up in the House, talked to the cabinet. So we're working on that, and we'll keep working on it.
Well, a unique town and a unique perspective from you. Thank you so much. Brian Calder is a Canadian and American dual citizen and a former Vancouver City Councillor. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Way to go, Dad.